Maybe, you know? Oh my goodness. Hello. Okay. And just so you know, if you see us looking into different cameras, again, as on brand with the Earth is Ghetto podcast, it is a little ghetto. Okay. So I'll be looking down here because that's the TikTok live. Hey people. And I'll be looking up here because that's the YouTube live. Hey people. Sorry. Okay. But let's go ahead and get started first and foremost for our mental health check-in. As always, this is the Earth is Ghetto podcast. I am Sydney.
And I am Aaron.
Okay. Totally forgot to introduce ourselves. I just got in, right? So
no, you know what time it is.
Listen, you know who you looking at. It's fine. Hey Diablo. I literally just saw your announcement video. Alistair always becoming throw baby. But anyway, so as far as a mental health check-in, let's start with you. How have you been dealing with everything? Life.
I realize that staying home is when I am best mentally, because of the people that I live with. And I'm able to get through shit, and they get it, and they get how I see things. So mentally, when I'm at the house, I'm doing great.
Which honestly makes me feel very happy because, you know, as not a whole lot of people know, but we have a full house, okay? We live with 4 children, my sister, and Aaron and myself, and Danielle. You know, we got plenty of people in this house, right? And I'm really, really happy that, you know, at the end of the day, we can make it a safe space for everybody who's living here. Because I certainly feel really safe. Mm-hmm. So as far as my mental health check-in, I'm back in therapy, y'all. All right. So, and listen, and it's a male therapist. I was a little scared. I'm not even gonna lie. Because people have certain preconceived notions and things like that, and it actually went so great. I'm really, really happy with it. I was kind of afraid at first. I think it helps that he's like indigenous because there's a lot of things that we can still like talk about. And that made me really happy. Because first and foremost, the reason why I'm in therapy is because I know that emotional regulation can sometimes be an issue for me. Now, other people would not think that. I am glad he's a good man. I know, right? Who knew? No, let me stop that.
Right.
but one of the things that I was super nervous about was not just the fact that he was a male, but just like a lot of times when you get into therapy, they're like, "What's your issue? What's your problem? Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Listen, I'm here so I can maintain my sanity and my sobriety." From certain drugs and pills and things that I used to take when I was way younger. And for me, this is preventative. I want to make sure that I'm not in a space where I start spiraling so low that I can't get out, or that because I don't have a job right now. It's very easy to get depressed. It's very easy to be like, you don't have money, you don't have this. So I want to make sure that I don't drown. You know what I mean? And that's really why I was there for. And sometimes when you're with therapists, they're like, "What the fuck you need me for?" And you're like, because you know what the issue is that when you are, quote unquote, self-aware and you go into therapy, the therapist will really talk to you like you can't be helped. Mm-hmm. And that is the worst shit in the world because they're like, "Oh my goodness, so you're so aware of all of your issues and the things you do wrong and so on and so forth." And I'm just like, yeah, but I still need to work on those. It's still happening. It's just so weird. But I'm really, really glad that is not, a conversation we were having. It was really, really good. And I look forward to my next appointment. And honestly, that's kind of where my mental health is at. I am trying my best to feel hopeful. And that's one of the reasons why I got into therapy, because I needed to feel hopeful. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Enough of that.
I love that for you, friend.
Well, thank you,
therapy
baby.
Is very important.
Listen, and we're going to get everybody in some fucking therapy, okay? With them damn children, Mallory. Listen, if I could get everybody into therapy, bitch, we'd all be there. But that's just me. So, jumping directly into the topics, what do you want to start with first? Because we don't have to go in order, friend. I'm gonna just let you pick.
You know, let's do the AI shit first. Let's just go ahead.
Let's talk about AI. So we're gonna play a video in a second, but I actually just got into an argument on Facebook. I know. Sydney, you're always arguing with somebody on fucking Facebook. I know, okay? I'm doing the best I can. It is very hard. It's difficult. and they say stupid shit, and I gotta say something. Anyway, whatever. So there was a guy who I actually went to college with who was responding to a person, another artist on my page, because I went to art school, who was saying, like, listen, AI is terrible, and it's ruining us. And I was saying, like, listen, I feel like you don't realize how bad AI is because we're quite literally destroying black and brown neighborhoods. Like, those servers, you don't even realize how many bottles of water they need per hour to run and keep them cool. I feel like we are not looking at the reality of things. And sadly, usually I would not use words like lazy. Because in general, I don't believe in it, at least in reference when it comes to the corporate world or the way that we do our 40-hour work weeks, etc. But what I will say is that it is lazy to, instead of relying on your own creativity, that you're using ChatGPT. It is insane for you to use ChatGPT. It is insane for you to go ahead and use all of these things to quote unquote help you. A place uses almost 30 million gallons a day to cool it.
Wow.
Which is worse than what my estimation was. Fucking insane. And when I see people use AI, and listen, I know that you just want to see yourself in the 1920s, right? You're like, what would a dinosaur look with my face on it? Like, I get it, right? But at the same time, I feel like
people are losing water. You know, like people are like, hey, we don't have water to drink because of this shit. We kind of need that as humans. But oh my God, I want to see myself. Like, I don't know.
In certain neighborhoods, their water pressure is so low that it's barely coming out of their fucking faucets. I need people to start doing some research, and whether you do it on TikTok and decide to go ahead and cross-reference it with something else, please do something and start doing your own research. I am too homeschooled for the way that you bitches be taking in information. Go read about it yourself. Water, air, soil is being impacted, making it impossible to grow food. Mm-hmm. And at some point, we're going to talk about the government shutdown and what they're doing to SNAP benefits. Mm-hmm. You don't think that all of this is in one ridiculous, stupid-ass fucking circle? You don't see that? Anyway, what do you have to say about AI before we go ahead and play the video?
I would hear so many people at work saying, oh, I asked ChatGPT. I looked on ChatGPT, and it tells me this, and it tells me that. People that are like that are morons. I need y'all to understand.
I wasn't going to say that.
Because... what the fuck do you mean? It's just a fucking grocery list, you dumb bitch. You don't have to use that. People are losing water. That's all I have to say about that.
Oh!
We got a little video to play for y'all.
Yes, we do.
Rally video of Martin Luther King thrashing around and howling like a monkey instead of doing his I Have a Dream speech. Kobe Bryant and Michael Jackson doing a TikTok live battle. And a video of Kamala Harris and Trump making out. What could that possibly do for society? I know what it could do for the owners of OpenAI and other tech companies and the contracts they have with the U.S. government, but what could that possibly do for the rest of us? What does this do besides speedrun the effects of climate change and entertain someone with the IQ of 2? And the issue is, y'all are so fucking stupid that you just embrace it. The shit I have seen from Sora 2, you embrace it, no questions asked. It is so scary living around you people, bro. You AI freaks are like crypto bros times a fucking million. Why is that personality type always so eager to speed run the end of the fucking world? Let me tell you something. When fresh water goes on subscription, I'm not giving you idiots any. When we have to start rationing the water, when, not if. When we have to start rationing the water, anyone who had a generative AI account at the bottom of all wait lists, the bottom. I don't want you or your idiot families having anything to drink. What y'all can do is generate a video of you drinking water and pass that around the room. Hopefully that'll quench the thirst pains. When the biome shifts completely, rewriting the habitable climate of most of the globe, your family will live in prime year-round hurricane territory if I have anything to say about it. When we have to migrate away from certain coasts, I'll solve homelessness myself. Everyone gets a home except you. You will live on Tundra Ice Cap 472, formerly known as California. Those resources will not be wasted on the likes of you or anyone sharing your inferior idiot DNA. It's a humanitarian hazard, actually, when you think about it. Fuck generative AI. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And I want y'all to also know that they're going to start, actually they've already started, framing people for stuff that they didn't do through these AI videos.
Yep.
So this is where we're at with that. And I just also why does it need so much fucking water anyway?
To keep them cool. You have to remember how much heat that these big ass servers that basically take up full on, like when I say it's a whole building full of just server. I don't know how many TV shows that you've watched with or any movies you've watched where it's like, oh, the technological bullshit in the background. They've got rooms where it's nothing but modems and towers and servers and that's it. And you have to keep that cool. The amount of heat that shit radiates, it would overheat in nothing.
That's where they had so much water and shit in the Matrix when we saw that shit.
Oh, yeah.
With them robots.
Listen, all of the coolant that they need in order to keep that shit cool, we are suffering for. We are suffering for, and we will continue to suffer for. And I understand that generative, now people are like, should generative AI not be used for anything? It should not be used when you're stumped on a question and Google exists. Which by the way, another company we may have to divest from. I'm getting really, really sick and tired. Why do you think it's so warm in October? It's contributing to global warming so fast. Like, even when it comes to the genocide in fucking Israel, that Israel is taking out on the Palestinians. Do you know all of those bombs that they're dropping is continually making the environment warmer, and it's still like, we are going to be affected by that. It's
Did you see that video of those cats running around in that woman's face? It's so infuriating because now it's at a point where we can't even tell. We can't even tell the difference. There was this video on TikTok of these cats late at night just running across the room, like zooming across the room and shit.
Zooming,
and people thought that shit was real, and it wasn't.
It wasn't. We also have generative AI was used by that Milagros girl who is getting sued by Meg the Stallion. She was like partially responsible for the generative AI that was like corn of Meg the Stallion. I freaking sent that to Sid. She definitely
It's scary
did.
shit, y'all.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And I feel like the issue that I'm having right now is the fact that we are so inured and we are so desperate to hold on to what we feel like may be convenient and what we think is making our lives easier. Now, if you code for a living, I can understand why AI may be part of your job. As far as I'm concerned, I feel like AI should only be used for technological experts. I don't think that should be something that the common person is using just so they can be like, I'm standing next to Hitler. Bang, bang. Like, what?
I took a picture with Taylor Swift.
What? I had Michael B. Jordan bend it over like a real one. Like, why? It's not necessary.
His face.
You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, why is your imagination so poor that you can't do that without generative AI? First of all, because I do it nightly. I don't know what your problem is.
Right.
I feel like, and again, I feel like this is probably the only time I'm going to use the word lazy, but it's lazy, especially as creatives. You sing, you write, I sing, I write. There's so many things that we do. That takes out all of the authenticity. You've got Timbaland trying to go ahead and make a whole new artist out of AI. And you know what was really dirty about what Timbaland's big bald-headed ass actually did? The real fucked up part about that roly-poly motherfucker was the fact that he decided to go ahead and have all of these artists come onto his live. And they didn't realize that generative AI was continually running, stripping their voices, stripping their vocals, stripping actual artists from their shit. And now he made a whole new person, and now he's using that whole new generative AI person to, like, do you understand how fucked up this is? Yes! And that's what Timbaland did. Which, by the way, we already knew that nigga was weird when he decided that he was, I was in love with Aaliyah, but oh, she's so young. And we thought like, oh, hey, ha. Yes, AI actress. This is what I'm saying. Like, you literally got Timbaland. He literally stole from these artists who thought that that felt like they were so honored to have Timbaland, the producer, go ahead and have them on his platform and be able to show their work. And he was stealing from them and paying them nothing. I don't think anybody's realizing what AI can do and how it should not be available to the common person. Period.
Yeah. But you know what? That's okay, because God and Jesus will always be there for us. Speaking of
Jesus.
I'm not sure if y'all saw the whole like clip from Deontay Kyle saying like, hey, actually, when it comes to the liberation of black folks, we say we want liberation, but Jesus is in the way of that.
I think Jesus has been in the way of black liberation for a long time. And I understand most people would be like, but Ethiopia. But I'm going to be for real. Like, all right. Christianity has been a poison to the black community. The way that we are told to forgive, the way that we are told to turn the other cheek, the way that we are told not to bear arms, but to go ahead and make friends with our oppressors. I don't think that you understand how absolutely backwards that is, and how if somebody is telling you not to fight for yourself, the first thing that you should think is brainwashing. However, as a person who used to be a Christian, a very devout Christian, I blame King James for how people see God in the Bible now. His version is so corrupt. You're not fucking wrong. Because if we were able to go ahead and take things directly from the Hebrew of the Bible before it was translated into whatever, God's was goddess. We're not gonna talk about that today because that's a whole different show. But the way that it has been co-opted, the way that it's been used to poison the black community, slavery. We had a slave Bible. Nat Turner was actually used at first to keep the slaves in check. He was a preacher, so he was supposed to make them feel grateful with everything that was going on and to obey their masters because for this is right. Mm-hmm. There's too many examples of how Christianity has poisoned us to the point where in Africa, if I was to go ahead and say that I want to practice voodoo, or I want to practice one of the ATRs, or these are the Orishas, they would honestly put up a cross and rebuke me in the name of Jesus. Because people like David Livingston and the missionaries had been there first and brainwashed full villages. The Geneva Bible is the true Bible before it changed. Listen. See, that's a whole nother episode. We could talk about Judges 19. Let me stop. But yeah, no.
I think the reason why I know that got a lot of y'all is because people really do think that worshiping our ancestors is demonic. And they are in hell. And that's like a demonic thing to do. Oh my God, witchcraft. But you just ate the blood and then drank the blood in the body of a dead man. But you don't call it that? Like, that is... Damn, they got us real hard with that because what he said is true. And y'all wouldn't like me because y'all know how I am. I would be like, actually, none of this shit is real. Mm-hmm. Y'all know how I am. I don't like fairy tales and shit. It is a Bronze Age
Aaron would be like, I'm Jesus. He
kept it respectful. Okay?
Like, I swear to God.
That was a nice way of him, what he said. That was nice of him. Because I would tell, like, girl.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Children are being blown up right now.
Bruh.
And you want to sit here and tell me not to mock God. Girl, get the fuck out my face.
Listen, if God didn't want to be mocked, he wouldn't have children born with terminal illnesses, children born without brains. We wouldn't have kids being blown up right now in fucking Gaza. We wouldn't have children being gang raped in Sudan and having limbs cut off. If God was real, then King Leopold wouldn't have been able to maim all of those black people for fucking rubber. I need you to stop. Because at the end of the day, whenever you want to talk to me about this Bible shit, so when the slaves were praying to God and the slave masters were praying to God, who did God answer?
Quickly.
I'll wait. And their excuse for shit like this is always, but he gave us free will. Oh, nice scapegoat, which isn't a scapegoat at all.
It's not. Because there's no such thing as free will when he already knows the outcome of everything.
If you know the outcome of everything. So the night that I was raped, the night that I was assaulted, all of this, so you knew it was going to happen and you did nothing to stop it. You know, in the court of law, that somebody else would actually be seen as guilty? In the court of law. If you stand by and just watch some shit happen, you can be looked at as guilty. But not God? Suck a dick.
Yeah, and this is why, like I said, until we let this shit go, we will never be free as black folks. I know that's a hard pill to swallow.
As anyone. No one can be free with that shit.
I know Jesus at this point is part of the culture to allow hey. And I try my best, even though I know all this shit is dumb as fuck. Mm-hmm. I try my best to give my people grace when it comes to this shit, because damn, we go through shit in this world as black folks. So maybe after all of this is over, maybe then we can finally have some peace.
Literally.
But at what cost when you got people saying, oh, well, girl, I don't care about my food stamps being taken because God will always provide. Meanwhile, people in the Congo are being killed, children.
So God's answering your prayers, but not the children dying in the Congo. What is that about? Allison said, how is he all-knowing and we have free will? It doesn't make sense to those with common sense. That part. And then too many stories and traditions have been lost to time and colonization. And this is the thing. People think that it's only black and brown people who have been stolen from when it comes to a religion. White people too. Greg says you will stand speechless at judgment. Actually, I will have a lot to say, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I will say. Right? So let's play act. Right? I'm in heaven. Right? I'm at the pearly gates. Mm-hmm. Right? And he's
I see Hitler next to me.
Listen, right? So he's like in front, and Jesus, God, and the Holy Spirit, all three of them in one. You know, you like that 3 in 1. It's sitting in front of me, right? The first thing I'm going to say was, why did you allow my father to beat me from the ages of 8 to 19 with no reprieve? Why did you allow me to be molested in the church at 7 years old? Why would you allow all of the heartbreak, rape, and issues that I have gone through in my life if you know what was going to happen?
It was all part of his plan. He works in mysterious ways.
Why do you have such a shitty plan? And why is your way so mysterious?
You don't understand how God works.
Can you explain it? Can you explain it?
Oh, shit.
I really would love if you explained it.
Can't make this shit up.
That's where the fuck I am at. And I refuse to go ahead and ever be in a space. Like, even if we talk about Mallory, who basically escaped the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Which is a very dangerous. Ooh, they are so fucking dangerous. Jehovah's Witness.
Bro, escaped. She escaped. And when I say escape, her husband was so abusive, they bailed him out twice. Because guess what? You need to stay married. And people want to go ahead and pretend that it's like, well, guess what? I'm nitpicking. This is about the people in the religion, not the religion itself. That's what a lot of people will say. I want you to read Judges 19 and get back to me and tell me what the moral was. That's it. I'm going to let it go. 18% of girls and almost 8% of young boys have been vocal about their abuse in the church. And those are the ones who are vocal. Think about the ones who never said anything. After my first assault, do you think I went to the police after the way I was treated the first time after anything else ever happened?
Because I don't think I know how deeply psychological this shit is. Because when you've been told since you were born that you were born a sinner, you're a piece of shit as soon as you come out the womb.
You deserve
maybe
nothing.
I did deserve this. Maybe what happened to me, maybe I deserved it. Maybe
I didn't pray hard enough.
Like, that's how deep this shit goes. It goes into your fucking psyche. This shit is dangerous, and it would never set us free as black people.
Exactly. And Groovy just said, and then the apocalypse couldn't happen and Jesus couldn't come back. Girl, we not even going to, we already talked about the rapture. That lady who gave away her children to CPS and is fighting to get them back. That woman who went and gave away her deed to her house in South Africa. The man who went ahead and sold his car, didn't sell, gave away his car because he was so sure. Was it September 23rd? He was so sure that Jesus was coming. You don't see this as fucking psychosis, bro? This is psychosis.
Like, that's like the ultimate form of oppression. How do y'all not see that? Don't question, just do. You can't. We can't question Massa, aka God. It's all connected. Girl.
What do you think the slave masters were telling the slaves? They had actual Bible verses to back up what he was saying. Whether it was Exodus, whether it was Leviticus, slave masters had actual verses. Trying to get y'all to 5K. Thank you, Easter. Oh my God. Nearly 400 Southern Baptist leaders, from youth pastors to top ministers, have pled guilty. God damn. And I also want to say, might be an unpopular ideal, but for anybody who has been an addict, when you do your 12-step program and they're only preaching God and Jesus, you're not going to get sober. Especially if you're not a religious person, you're not going to get fucking sober, man. And the 12-step program is based in religion. A lot of these things are based in it. Or a lot of fucking therapy. Seriously. They still think that conversion therapy is therapy.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Which includes electroshock therapy. As someone who went to conversion therapy, and that was one of the things that I had to go through was electroshock therapy, which is, by the way, a Christian facility that they sent me to. Which is still very legal. Get the fuck out of my face. Like, we gotta be honest, y'all. Do we want to be free or not?
I keep on learning new lore about this person every day. First, I found out they play the trumpet, the trombone, the clarinet, and some other shit. And now, you went to a conversion therapy?
I've been told you this before.
Nigga, I don't remember.
Oh, what surprise.
We'll try and backtrack. I just want names.
Because they were so concerned.
Allison says I just want names.
They were too concerned with how feminine I was. I was so over policed because I had to be the stereotypical black buck. I need to be super masculine at all times. Stop sitting like that. Stop holding your wrist like that. Stop talking like that. I was very overly policed.
I can't even imagine. I can't. And honestly, it makes me so thankful that I was homeschooled, and not because of anything else other than the fact that my mom was so afraid of other people that there was nothing. She was like, we have to handle this in-house. Ain't nobody going nowhere for this. And that's the only thing I can thank God for, because I know that there are people in Jehovah's Witnesses who, I remember one of my homegirls told me she lost her virginity at 20, and her mother sent her to the elders. Sent her to the elders to go ahead and explain what happened. She didn't even know what it meant, what ejaculate meant. Do you know how insane that is? 3 grown-ass white men sitting in front of her while she has to explain. Do you know how nuts that is? And they're asking them specific fucking details about, like, things that... As black people, that's another thing about Jehovah's Witnesses. As black people, how are we listening to 5 old-ass white men at the fucking watchtower?
So embarrassing.
And Groovy says, but you were socialized as a male. So you're not trans. Do you see the insanity? Diablo says, I just want names. Listen, and Diablo good for it too. I ain't gonna lie. I've used it for some things, you know what I'm saying? But no, we're going to move on to the next topic. Obviously, this is a much bigger conversation that we will continue to talk about and the reason why we're going to continue to talk about it is because we are still living in a theocracy.
Yeah. The fact that, again, we are still making our kids say the Pledge of Allegiance. One nation under God. And y'all want to sit here and say, like, that's what I can't take y'all. Like, stop fucking playing in my face.
Not Issa played trumpet too. All right. Listen, I ain't got that kind of lung strength, but we gonna work on it, okay? Nigga know how to read music and everything. I said, bitch, what the fuck? I was so upset. I'm like, we've known each other for almost 5 goddamn years.
You knew I was in a damn band.
Okay, but I don't know what all that entails. I was in a band too. I still can't read music.
And I was show major.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to the next topic. What you want to do?
No King's protest, but this link ain't working because it's not.
Oh, I'll show you. There you go.
Okay, here you go.
No King's protest. Let's talk about the No King's protest. We are going to obviously listen to a video. I got sent to the principal for asking who's God. Like, there's a bunch.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, what God?
Yo, this just reminded me that when I was in Catholic school for fucking kindergarten, not even first grade, I saw all the corpses on the wall because, they got Jesus hanging everywhere. And so I went to the teacher and was like, that looks demonic. Straight to the principal. Insane. But anyway.
They're so obsessed with demons, bro. Like,
bro, they just, like, I was like, you're erecting a dead body in front of me. Am I supposed to feel safe? It's cool. But, so in reference to the No King's protest, one of the things that I do want people to understand is that this wasn't a protest. This was a get-together.
It was a tailgate.
It was a rally.
A parade.
When you schedule it, between 10 and 12, we're not doing a protest.
Why are we thanking police?
Wait.
Why are we selling war criminal books?
Selling Kamala books at the No King's protest. And before anybody says anything, we hate Trump.
Yeah, we have to say that.
Apparently.
Because y'all are so stuck in the duopoly. It's the this, and if you don't like this, then you must be this. We hate both these motherfuckers.
No, for real.
Okay?
And
genocide is genocide is genocide. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing that would have changed if Kamala was in power is that we'd all be at brunch during the genocide.
And this is where we're at right now. Because for the longest time, we've been voting for the lesser of two white supremacists, lesser of two war criminals, so that we can stay comfortable. Meanwhile, the global south and everyone else is getting fucked up because we are a settler colonial state and we have a monopoly on violence. That's the only way Israel and the United States can survive.
Facts. And also, Groovy just said, also, isn't it no gods, no kings? Interesting how they dropped that first part.
Right.
Clock it. Because remember, it was just no kings. And what was worse is that pro-Palestinian protesters were being harassed at the No Kings protest.
Yeah, because they were like, how dare you? Why you got that flag?
Bruh, what kind of protest happens on a Saturday that doesn't disrupt anything?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then y'all still talking about the NFL. I bet y'all caught that game the next day.
Bruh.
Like, we're not serious. We're underwhelmed. We're underreacting.
Deeply underreacting.
Why are we still talking about the fucking NFL? They racist ass.
Oh my God. Because you just like a slave auction. That's what you want. You love a slave auction.
You saw that game last night?
Listen, because every single time you have a draft, you want to go ahead and measure their muscle content. Stick out your tongue. Let me look at your balls. Like, I need you guys to realize what this is. It's just paid.
People still love the distractions too much.
And it does feel like a setup. Doesn't it feel like that's a place that ICE would go just to sit around to see who they can pick up?
Yeah.
Notice ain't nobody sent them forces to them. They had fun, sung songs and shit. Okay? Couldn't go down to participate without feeling like I was in enemy territory. Literally. And that's because you were. You were in enemy territory. Completely.
This protest was a let's get back to the status quo protest. Let's get back to silent imperialism. Let's get back to silent white supremacy. Let's get back to silent Western hegemony.
Wow.
We want to go back to brunch. And that's why I said, as long as y'all asses want to keep going back to brunch, this is where we're at. You're going to get more Trumps.
You are.
You're going to get more of them.
You really are.
Because individualism will be the end of us.
Listen, sorry, friends. I'm not leaving, but I got to order this. Yeah, it knocked me off completely.
Oh yeah, once you leave the app,
That's too funny.
I think it just pauses us once you leave.
No,
the app.
I thought it paused. Okay, never mind. My bad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get through my day. Okay, the best a nigga know how. Mm-hmm. Now that they're pausing SNAP benefits for November and December, I don't know if you guys have seen the most disgusting rhetoric online, talking about how, well, now I don't have to pay for your food. Now I don't have to pay for your shit. And I do all of those things. And I'm still able to get this and this done. Do you realize that at any moment of the day, you could be on a disability? At any moment of the day, you could have a crisis. The average person doesn't have $500 for a crisis. They just don't. Truly. So I feel like what truly disgusts me the most about it is the fact that the callousness that people are talking about. And one thing I actually don't like about it is because obviously we know that white people are more of a recipient for food stamps. It's a bigger majority, right? Mm-hmm. Why is that giving? Everybody deserves to eat. Everybody deserves to eat. That is my politic. That's where my politic lands. Everybody deserves to fucking eat. And the fact that any of you could go ahead and say some shit about school lunches. You don't want children to eat? That they're saying it's true they're saying it's true nationally for November and possibly December. Live your life. Meanwhile, they ain't paid for shit, correct? It's literally half a penny they contribute for real. Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if they purposely keep this government shut down because hello.
No, even livestock is kept fed. What are we doing here, man? Do you know how insane that is? But we have no problem putting trillions of dollars into war, into making sure that Israel can have free education, free health care, and abortions.
And subsidized housing.
And oh my God, I forgot about the subsidized housing.
And they're gonna make sure to somehow gaslight you into, Oh, well, that's just the way it is.
Bruh. And it says, the reason I became a cafeteria lady is to make sure every child ate as much as they fucking wanted. Let me tell you something. In my neighborhood, we have a neighbor who just had a surgery. Mallory bring this man food. We make breakfast, we make lunch, we make dinner, we make sure that they get some, and the lady who just had a baby gets some. Because you're supposed to take care of each other, man. We are. That little old lady across the street who be lonely sometimes because her older kids don't visit her. Mallory, go over there. Stop it. Do people understand how many kids don't get breakfast or lunch? It's sometimes literally their only meal. But you know what they'll say instead? They'll be like, well, those poor people should have stopped having kids. Eugenics. For some reason, we always go down the pipeline of fucking eugenics whenever we have any of these conversations.
A lot of us still don't even know what eugenics is.
Oh, they have no idea. They're like, stop saying that. If I say poor people shouldn't have kids, doesn't mean that I believe in genetics. I believe in eugenics. If you believe only certain people should have children, you believe in eugenics. And then don't even talk about how hard it is to even get the benefits in the first motherfucking place. We're not even gonna go there.
Right.
I remember when I was making $15.76 an hour in fucking Denver of all places, and I had my little sister who I had taken custody of, and they said, sorry, baby, you can't get food stamps. You make 76 cents over.
Ridiculous.
Most kids go home to empty pantries. I was in Canton, Mississippi. Do you know how many of my kids cried for food? Oh my God. Even if you set aside human kindness, this is short-sighted lack of investment. Most people on SNAP work full-time. Thank you! You're making it sound like people like people are trying to say like, oh, they're taking advantage of the system. You know what you really need to say is that every person should have SNAP benefits.
Yep.
We shouldn't have to qualify. Every person deserves food. Now, if you want to buy hot food, then you got to pay, baby, because you're paying for somebody to cook. But if you're going to cook it yourself, why? Why can't everybody get food? Why can't everybody...
I don't want my tax dollars paying for people's health care and food and shit that we need to survive as humans because I don't like it and I think that I could somehow be a millionaire someday and I work hard for my money and I've been programmed.
Oh my God. Bessie Ann, take your ass on somewhere. Do you know how much USDA meats those schools rely on? I had to get grants to get them a midday snack.
Crazy.
This is a topic I'm very passionate about. Don't tell me I can't feed my children at my schools. Honestly, I ain't trusting the food up at this point anyway.
And if any of you bitch ass niggas snitch on anyone, quote unquote, stealing food from these fucking big ass corporations,
you're going to have...
Because bitch, how the fuck else am I gonna feed myself and live as a fucking human because I need this shit to live as a fucking human? You are a bitch. And you are not really down for the cause because what the fuck is your problem? Mind your fucking business.
I was working at a group home in Commerce City when I was in Colorado. I loved my kids. They were insane and troubled, but I loved my kids. The food that they would give us for me to cook for them, you have to remember, I'm from the Caribbean. I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is terrible. I wouldn't want to eat this shit. So I started cooking from home. And bringing it. I would sometimes take some of the ingredients that I would have at work. I would go home and I would make something. Because remember, all of the kids that I had here were either Latin or Black. Okay? I was just like, I feel like you may want more things in your eggs this morning. So I would be here making omelets. I'm here doing whatever. I got written up for feeding these children nutritious food that they would like.
How dare you?
Do you know how crazy it was sitting in that room while they're trying to explain to me why? Because I'm just like, I cooked it myself. I didn't ask you to buy anything. I cooked it. What are we talking about? No, they're only supposed to have what we give them and nothing else. And I'm like, can I at least season the food? That's where the fuck we're at. And this isn't something that's just happening now, or was happening under Trump, and only happening under Biden, or happening under Obama, or only happening this has been happening.
Yeah, and it has to happen because that's the kind of system we live in. Because what about the shareholders and the rich people?
No, for real.
Like, it doesn't matter if it's blue or red. At the end of the day, the goal of the president, because I'm not going to lie, I kind of be like, when y'all be like, oh, you should run for president, or we need you to run for president. We shouldn't need any more black folks running for these white supremacist institutions to keep this shit going. Well, at the same time, it's hurting black folks. This ain't nothing to flex about, oh, I like her, she got charisma, she should run for president. And so did Obama, he had charisma and dropped a lot of bombs.
Put the bomb in Obama.
So this whole, oh, you should run for president, let that shit go. The state should not exist.
What the president's job is actually antithetical to what is actually going to be progressive for the people in that country.
Because you have to assimilate to the foundation of what this country is. You have to assimilate it to keep it going. We can't survive without violence. We don't need you up here saying abolish the police. We need you to, like, girl, they ain't going to have a president that says that.
Listen, rolls, I worked in the food industry, trust me. Rolls of 10 pounds of ground beef, boxes of 8 whole chickens cut up, cases of milk and eggs, fruits, vegetables. They wanted us to throw it all away. Absolutely not. My community will eat. My God. Yo, and the devil is supposed to be some boogeyman? Bro. And then servings is another motherfucker too. It's not cohesive at all. Food safety is the reason a lot of states are banning feeding houseless folks.
Yeah.
Food safety. That's where they're going to be under the guise of. While you go ahead and hose down some random homeless person that's outside your business not bothering nobody.
Right.
Or you want to go ahead and arrest me for feeding them. I got to feed homeless people in secret?
Because they want them, they need some more slaves. We need them to be in prison. We don't need y'all to just be out here pushing around and not contributing to the plantation. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck are you feeding this runaway slave? How dare you?
Shit.
We don't need y'all out here doing that. It's all by design.
Yeah, ain't no lies, bro. Yeah, it is BS. I understand the legality, but that's BS, and you and I both know it. That's the truth. Compassion is punishment. In the U.S. 2008 to 2020 was my first years being a lunch lady. Like, do you know how nuts it is for there to be so many people who are like, man, I really want to help children. I really want to make sure they can spell and read and write and all of these different things. And they've made these things so much harder than they used to be. When I was younger, I used to run a poetry slam group. I fucking know, bro. It's fine. I was maybe 21, and all of these kids were coming out of high school, and they were obviously going through so fucking much, right? But once a month, I was having my thing, and we were going back and forth with poems, so on and so forth, and I was learning so much about these kids' lives. Do you know I had to keep that going with my own money, and we couldn't meet at the library anymore? We started meeting in parks. Just because, like, they make it so hard, bro. They make it so hard. How are we supposed to do this? If police can come and uproot a community garden just so homeless people can't eat, where the fuck are we? Listen, I am just no longer in a space where I can tolerate the mess and the bullshit. I refuse. I also feel like, especially right now, where everything is so fucked up, where we're just calling ICE on anybody, right? We're just doing anything to anybody at this point. And if you, God forbid, you want to feed someone, God forbid you want to just, I don't know, take out a bunch of sanitary napkins and all kinds of things and just pass it out to people on the street, people will stop you like you're doing something wrong. I saw this white boy go ahead and get all this food together just so we could go and feed the homeless. The police shut that down in like 2 hours, and he still had a line. We're in the fucking Twilight Zone. Yeah, we are. Nah, the mental breakdown is about a mile or two away. Listen, for me that is. Listen, I there's a reason why I'm back in therapy, friend. Because I know a nigga's losing it. I already know, right? Oh geez, I didn't even realize we were almost to an hour already. Yeah, so when is the next day that you're off, and we'll come and do a live to finish up everything?
Let me see.
Because I know, you gotta work for the state tomorrow, child. My girlfriend was almost arrested for handing out sandwiches in Cali on Skid Row. The place is called Skid Row.
Crazy. We can do Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, so Thursday is going to be our next live, okay? So we coming back Thursday around the same time. And don't worry, we're actually going to be like, making it a schedule. So, we're all going to get to it and whatnot, right? People getting arrested for submitting evidence against predators. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro. Do you understand? To the point where it was with Roblox. Remember? Mm-hmm. The whole thing with Roblox. There was some random white boy who started when I said he started putting belt to ass, he was getting
belt to ass.
Yeah, when I say when I say this man was spanking them, he was actually getting people arrested for child SA and having child corn and things of that nature. Do you know they sent him a cease and desist? They sent him a cease and desist. Do you know how nuts that is?
These people are sick.
So if I wanted to make sure that people were safe, and I decided, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this. This has affected me in such a way. I'm gonna go and pretend to be some little girl, and I'm going to get this man all the way to the police station just so I can start taking them off the streets one by one.
Yep.
And they send you a cease and desist. You can go to jail. And then you wonder why people just decide to start, you're like, oh my goodness, like vigilantes. How did that happen? Look up Lost Prophets. That story is wild. Oh my God. We live in the upside down. Yes, the Demogorgon is around the corner. And apparently his name is JD Vance. It's fucking insane. They had tried to arrest the guy's girlfriend for going to the police 4 times with evidence. Oh, see, wow. I can't.
Disgusting.
I can't. Okay, so day after tomorrow, we're going to come on for another live. It might be a little bit longer than this one, only because there's quite a few other topics that I've seen today that I'm going to be putting on the docket. They said the evidence was possession. Bitch! Sorry.
Fucking evil, man.
You know what it reminds me of? You remember the sub-foot long guy, Jared? Mm-hmm. And how we went to jail for shit like that? The only way the woman who was able to submit the evidence was to go ahead and play along like she was going to offer up her own daughters. Because she went to the police with recordings over and over and over and over, and no one cared. You saw that, right? Bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna do no talking. Happily just go to jail. Exactly, and thank God she wasn't implicated in that for just doing that. Can you imagine that you go ahead and you make sure you have evidence against a predator and they put you in jail? Whew. Okay. So for the things that are going to be on the next show, so that we all have an idea. We are going to be talking about the authoritarian left.
I just
Okay.
corrected it. Got rid of the stuff we talked about.
Yeah. ICE detention in El Paso, Texas. We're going to talk about D'Angelo and Tyler, the Creator. We're going to talk about abuse victims that are stripped from abuse victims who are stripped of protections in the military, and we're also going to talk more about Nicki Minaj. I don't want to talk about this lady no more. I'll get into it later, friend. There's too many things. Go lay down. It's fine. And then another thing that I want to make sure that we talk about is the type of revolution that we want. What are we looking at? What do we want? And what does that look like for us? It's very important that we have some type of plan, because this whole we're just going to go have a rally in the streets and I'll just go ahead and put a sign up between the hours of 10 and 12 is not doing it.
Tailgating for the classic.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, as per usual, for being the best audience in the world, all four of you. And we will go ahead and see you in the next one. Thank you for seeing the Earth is Ghetto podcast. Just remember that being black, being queer is African.
Bye, hoes.
Deuces.